Wlbt's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of sky cams across the state, alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together, we're Mississippi Strong.
Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here on WLBT Plus First Alert Weather Edition. I'm meteorologist Chase Franson. I need to move this mic out of the way so no one else is joining me. It's just me. I'm going to go over all the details of your local forecast real quick, and then we'll dive into the tropics. So good morning, Melissa Price. If you have any questions regarding the tropics, please don't be afraid to ask. I'll be happy to answer them at any time throughout the show and throughout the day today. If you continue to leave comments on it, this will be up for a little bit. So let's just start off with your local forecast. Right now, things are looking quiet. Again, we're not seeing much really popping up here in central Mississippi. You might see an isolated shower developing off to the east of Hattiesburg right now, but again, we're looking dry, which is great here in the area. 73 in the metro, same thing down in Macomb, 72 in Vicksburg and Natchez. But throughout the day today, it will actually, let me pull up the today outlook. I know I just updated that today. So for the day today, for your Thursday, we're staying mostly dry. Humidity will continue to rise, highs in the low to mid 90s, and feel like temperatures will be into the upper 90s and low triple digits for your day today. And for the foreseeable future, see a lot of moisture return in the forecast. And with that, it will be bringing our feel like temperatures up a lot in the area. So that moisture will really settle into the forecast into next week. I mean, look at that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through next week. It's going to get muggy and it's going to be feeling just nasty. Now with that, we could be tracking more isolated, more scattered rainfall chances into next week. But for the day today and tomorrow, just looking at very isolated rainfall chances. But in some of those storms, you could easily see a couple little cells popping up here and there that do have that severe potential. So very strong winds, maybe some small hail associated with some of these cells. High Cape environment with just very unstable atmosphere and a very muggy atmosphere further off to the south of I-20. So very similar sort of forecast into the day tomorrow as well. So your Thursday and Friday are copy and paste, but you know, I named this title Tracking the Tropics with Chase Frames, and that's what we're going to do. So let's talk about this. They update it every single morning, roughly around this time. So let me check the National Hurricane Center real quick while I have you here, just so I can make sure I'm telling you the correct numbers. Okay. They have not changed. Okay, so this graphic is correct still, and Dexter is still a tropical storm. So this is what we're looking at right now, and we have a 60% chance of development in that central Atlantic system heading towards the island of Bermuda. However, there's that 30% chance off the East Coast, as well as Dexter, tropical storm Dexter, expected to make its way out into the North Atlantic. Could bring impacts to Ireland or Great Britain, so we're going to closely monitor that. It does look to die out. Very high shear environment up there. Winds aloft are just going to be blowing this thing out to the east. Still could be bringing impacts for them further off to the east, but that 60% chance blob has actually been given a Invest 96L allows us to tap into those hurricane models with some of these cells or some of these potential tropical developments. Good morning to everyone else out there as you are getting ready. It currently has a pretty high pressure for a tropical system, 1,011 millibars, moving west-northwest at 15 miles per hour. So moving fairly quickly. The environment that it's moving into is not necessarily a bad one. It has to get through a little bit of Saharan dust, but other than that, if it makes its way through that and it holds strong, we can easily see this system gain a lot of strength. Winds at 35 miles an hour now. A lot of the forecast models do have it bowing out towards the island of Bermuda. There's a Bermuda high, and that was to push off to the east a little bit, weakening. If it holds strong, we could see it move into the Caribbean. If it weakens, could see it off to the east. So those are some things that you need to take note of going into it. So here's a look at the storm energy tracker out into the Gulf. So we have multiple systems that we're going to be closely watching, multiple cells that could be easily populating off that African coast. It's that time of year, people. We're getting to the August month. Once we get into late August, early September, in my opinion, that's really the peak of hurricane season here, especially into the Gulf. We see a lot of cells that really get moving into that. So that's really what we're tracking in the tropics. And, like I always do, try to pull it up for you. So let me get this going for you here, and we'll talk about this in a little bit more detail. So with this system, the forecast models have been all over the place, and we'll look at different ensemble runs. We'll look at different runs, and then I'll let you go on throughout your day today. So here is a look at tropical tidbits. This is what I use whenever I use a lot of tropical data. It uses a lot of tropical data and allows me to kind of see all the different model runs into what's going on in the tropics. So this is a look at the GFS. This is the most recent model run as of 6Z on the day today. So let's take a look at this. It has, Dexter up here, and that's making its way out there to the North Atlantic. We're not really seeing that. This is that area of possible development the GFS is showing. However, a lot of the other models are not. So with this, it does have that potential tropical system developing off to the East Coast and then back into the island of Bermuda. And we'll be closely watching that. To be honest, I'm not sold on it. It just depends on where that Bermuda high is. There it is right there. It just depends on, will it be further off to the west, east, or will it just run into a higher amount of shear? So there's a lot of question marks in regards to that. And then there's that potential for just more tropical waves as well. But this is a look at the 18Z from yesterday run. Look at the difference. I mean, this shows two major hurricanes, one in the Gulf, one off the East Coast. And then you look at this, and then you look at the same run just at a couple days later, or just a day later. So again, take these things with a grain of salt. This is what it showed yesterday night. Obviously, it was on something. This is a look at the most recent model. Let's even do this. This is 300 plus hours out, people. That's why I say take it with a grain of salt. If you see things online, that's why I don't like to forecast tropical systems multiple days out like this. I think we have a clear idea of what's going on in the next 7, and even then it's still not an exact science. So that's something that we really want to harp on. This is a look at the European model. This tends to be a little bit more accurate whenever we're talking about forecasting longer range tropical systems. The GFS tends to be a little crazy, but the Euro has systems moving into the Gulf. It has pretty much what it showed yesterday in the GFS. And don't be sold on that. Look at that. That's 360 hours out. Let me tell you something. That is 99.99999% chance that will not happen. So we're mainly focusing on this. This is a look at the Euro. Does have that potential for that tropical development off the East Coast, which we're tracking right now, that low end chance. But that other system, where is it? It fizzles on out. The Euro has it going south, more so into the Caribbean than anything. So again, just please take this all with a grain of salt. The Google AI model is showing it's all over the place right now as well. So once we get an actual system, I think that, we'll have a much more clear idea. But of course, I like showing you all this mainly because I want you to see what I'm looking at. I look at all this data and, it's my job here to tell you, hey, this is what this means. This is what's going on. But obviously, when the model data is all over the place, just like it has been, I just want you to know that please don't read everything that you read or that you see on the internet. To be honest, that 60% chance of development that we're seeing does probably have the highest chance to actually become our first hurricane of the season just because of the environment that it's moving in. So I'm actually going to pull up one more thing to show you. Let me see here if I can get it up and running. CMIS. Nope, not the help center. There we go. I don't want to call the help center. So for those of y'all that are fans of weather, which I actually know a lot of people are out here. I mean, Mississippi is greatly impacted by a lot of these storms. So this is my favorite website to look at in regards to tropical systems, because it tells me what's going on right now. And these are all the things that you need to know in regards to tropical systems. So this is a CIMSS, CIMSS, tropical cyclones. You can see it at the top here. Or no, you can't see it at the top, but this is really what I look at, and it shows the wind analysis, all the analysis in regards to what's going on out into the Atlantic. So this is a look at the Atlantic basin. The upper level winds, the lower level winds are looking good. This is really showing us that things are looking to move fairly good, to be honest with you. The divergence out there, not too bad, especially in regards to the systems. We want higher divergence aloft and higher convergence. So, and higher lower convergence. So again, higher upper divergence needs to be high, lower divergence needs to be high in regards to those systems. That's kind of how you can tell where exactly we're going to be tracking some of those things. Visible winds, we can't ever see them, but this is a very messy look. And that's why I'm showing you this now instead of on TV, because this is the wind shear. This is really the biggest factor in regards to tropical forecasting, mainly because we have those strong winds aloft, which that's what's pushing Dexter out there. I mean, look at that. Look at all that shear. That's why you're seeing those tops just push Dexter out there, making it maintain in a weekend. So really, that's the biggest factor, especially if you have those winds going against it, not just with it. That system is pushing Dexter out of there, but with this, if it pushes off to the north, you see that high shear out there off to the east. That's what's going to have to avoid. It has to ride up this area right here, and then this shear might actually keep it out of the Caribbean. It now depends on if it weakens. This is the look at the shear tendency right now, remaining high over right where Dexter is. This is that area of potential tropical development down here. So if it moves into this area, it might actually move into a fairly good environment off to the East Coast for it to actually gain a lot of strength. Sea surface temperatures are hot. It doesn't matter where you look in the Atlantic, they're above average. If it does ride the Caribbean, it's a very low shear environment right now into the Gulf. So that's really worst case scenario. So I don't think it's likely that it will ride into the Gulf. I do think it's likely, however, that we will see this track into areas off to the East Coast. So we'll continue to bring you updates on that. I'll bring you more updates live and online throughout the day today. And we'll have another look at 9:45 this morning, as well as live and online throughout the day. But for now, have a great rest of your day today. Stay safe, stay dry, and we'll have more updates for you.